Hey everyone, I'm back and today we're going to be talking about The Hunt for Red October, and this movie is directed by John McTiernan and it came out in 1990 and it stars Sean Connery, Sam Neill, and Alec Baldwin, and I thought this movie was decent. I enjoyed it more than I thought I would, and this is the same director as Die Hard 1 and 3, and I like those movies better than this movie. But this was decent overall. My favorite parts about this movie were when it was focusing on everyone in the Red October submarine. Those were some of my favorite scenes in the movie, and they were actually very well done. The acting's really good, and there were some nice tense scenes in the film that kept me engaged, and surprisingly enough, I wasn't really all that bored, and I do feel as though this movie was a bit too long, and I wasn't really satisfied once we got to the third act. I kind of found that element to be a bit underwhelming, and whenever the movie was focused on the Americans, it wasn't always the best for me. Sometimes it got a little cheesy, and there were some conveniences that were kind of annoying. But overall, I still enjoyed the film overall, despite me having some issues with it. And the music in the movie, sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't work. When it was like a shot underwater and it's showing off the submarine, it actually looks very convincing. And I'm not sure if they used a practical model or they just used CG and it was sparingly. It was used sparingly, sorry. But it looks good. That's what I'll say about it. And the only parts that kind of looked fake was when we were underwater and it was in the third act and there was like missiles going after the Red October. But aside from that, I thought the effects in the movie were well done, and it was just an enjoyable experience that I did not regret watching. And the reason why I find the scenes with everyone on the Red October engaging is because those are the most interesting characters to me, and the rest of the characters, they're there, but I don't really care about what they're doing all too much. It's whatever is going on in the Red October that I'm most engaged in, and the rest of it is hit or miss. And when I say hit or miss, I don't mean like good or bad. It's mostly like engaging, or I could have done without that scene, and you wouldn't really lose anything if it was shortened or cut out of the movie. And another criticism that I have for this movie is that I felt as though the opening for the movie was kind of weak, and it didn't really have me all too much for the first 15 minutes, maybe 20 minutes, but once the plot starts to kick in and like things are actually happening and there are stakes that are revealed in the movie, that's when the movie starts to work for me, and I'm like actually engaged in the film, and I want to see what else is going to happen. And it does take its time. It's not a super fast-paced movie in my opinion, but it does move along at a pace that I can accept, and it allows you to take in every scene, and it gives each scene in the movie time to breathe, and that's what I like about it. And one thing that I kind of wanted to mention was in the first 5-10 minutes of the movie, whenever we cut to Russians, they're speaking in Russian, but about 10 minutes in, once the plot starts to get more complicated, everyone just starts speaking English, and my guess would be that they just decided it would be easier for audiences to understand what's going on, and you probably wouldn't be that engaged if half of the movie was just subtitles, if it was subtitled, sorry. And as a person who's seen some foreign language films, it's kind of like a weird decision to just like have them speak Russian for like a couple scenes, and then for the rest of the movie they just speak English for no reason. It didn't take me out of the movie or anything. It was just a kind of a question that was left in my head, like, why did you do that? It was kind of unnecessary to do that, but whatever. And that's about all I have to say about The Hunt for Red October. There are some good things about it. I didn't regret watching it, and it was enjoyable. I'm probably not going to rewatch it ever again. It was decent. I would recommend that you would check it out, but it's just not a movie that I would ever rewatch. So with all that being said, I'm going to give The Hunt for Red October a 6 out of 10. Thank you for watching my videos as always. If you enjoyed this review, be sure to leave a like and comment down below what you thought of The Hunt for Red October, and my social media links, they will all be in the description, so follow me there. And last but not least, subscribe to be a part of Fully Nation, and I'll see you when I get my next review up, and that is going to be for 8 Mile. So look forward to that, but until I get that up, thank you for watching and have a great day.